All right, ready to travel for Transalpine Run. So I've laid out everything here that I'm going to bring with me, and I wanted to go over it in case you decide you ever want to, travel to do an ultra run or something like that. So Transalpine Run has a lot of required gear. It's a very technical, challenging, high alpine race. So they have a lot of requirements for different types of weather that you might encounter, just in case, for safety. And then of course I need all my normal running gear as well. So I just wanted to kind of go through that and show how I've broken it up, and then I'll try to get it all in the suitcases. Hopefully I can get everything that I absolutely need into my carry-on and personal item. If not, I'll divvy up some stuff and put it into my checked bag. So I'm flying from the US, I live in Maryland, over to Switzerland. So I've got to abide by all the airport rules, the TSA rules, things like that. So it gets a little bit tricky, but hopefully I've got it to where anything that doesn't make it, because maybe my checked bag gets lost, I can purchase. So let's go through the required gear first. So I've got my required travel documents. So I've got my passport, and then I have a couple of waivers that I need to sign once I get there. So I've printed them here, and I'll bring them with me just in case they don't have a printer at the hotel or something where I'm going. I've got my preferred pair of trail running shoes here, a couple of charging cables, and then I hear my dog coming. So, Zina. Come on, Bubbles. Say hi to Zina, everybody. Hi, good girl. All right, hopefully she doesn't get in the way too much here. All right, so starting from the top here, I've got my passport. I've got a couple of waivers that are required by the race. So there's a medical waiver, and then just a general, you are taking your life in your own hands. We're not responsible kind of waiver, liability waiver. I've got my favorite pair of trail running shoes here. So these are some Mount to Coast T1s. I've been running in these for the last couple months or so. So I really like them. They're great for all types of terrain. So those are my preferred running shoes. I've got them in the box because they're a little bit muddy, so it'll help contain some of the dirt so it doesn't get all over everything else. And also I can pack some other stuff in that box so to make it really compact and convenient. Moving on, I've got my hydration bottles here. So I've got 4 of these just soft flasks and 2 2-liter bladders in case I want to carry some extra water or more liquid with me. And I'm bringing 2 just in case something happens, like a leak or whatever. Got a whole bunch of running hats. I'll probably pick 3 of these to bring that are my preferred running hats, and then some of the ones that are a little less preferred, or like this one that is just about done here. It's pretty frayed. I'll put in the checked just in case. Got some liners. I prefer to run with linerless shorts, so I've got liners here. I find that they're more comfortable for endurance events. Lots of socks for trail running. Some more required gear. So I've got these in bags because I've been running with them and I didn't want them to get wet or anything. So we've got a rain shell with also a thermal, kind of like a reflective material on the inside to help keep warm even when it's cold and wet. Thermal undergarment. So this is it's an Arc'teryx Thinsulate long sleeve shirt, which is good for down to basically freezing, a little bit less than freezing. Then I've got hats, gloves, and some pants. So I've got some on-brand pants that I can pull up over my shoes and shorts as I climb the mountains if it starts to get cold, something like that, just to help me keep warm. Because I never know, it could be windy, it could be really cold at the top. In addition to that, let's just say it's a really cold starting day. I've got some thermal pants. So these are Jean-G thermal pants that are tights that I can wear under my shorts instead of a liner if it's an especially cold day. at the start, or I know it's going to be very cold at the top of the mountain or something like that. And those are good down to like, below 30 degrees Fahrenheit or so. I've got a emergency thermal blanket. You never know. Can't hurt to have one. Got my little cups here for food. This is actually made for dogs, but I find it works really well for ultra running. You can just pop this out and you got yourself a little bowl, throw some food in there, whatever, walk down the trail, eat your food, pop it back together, clip it on your bag or put it in your bag, whatever, you're good to go. I've got spikes. So these are some running spikes. Just go over your shoes. These are required by the race. I think there are some places where it's going to be snowy or icy on the tops of some of these mountains, and so these are required to be carried with you and put on in the event that you do need them. I think it's only certain stages they say you need them, but we'll see. I've been running with these in my pack, so I know I've got room for them if I need them. I've got my poles. These are optional by the race, but given that it's 45,000 feet of climb and some of it's very steep, we're talking like 30-40% inclines up and down. I think that these are not optional for me. I don't know, maybe we'll see some people without poles, but I've been training with and without, so I'll bring those. I think they'll help. Got a helmet. This is required by the race, so 4 out of the 7 stages, I'm required to wear a helmet for some, I don't know if it's all of the stage or part of the stage or whatever, but I have to have one. So I've got this nice Petzl Sirocco that I bought. I haven't even tried it on, honestly. I tried it on to make sure it fit, but I haven't adjusted it, I should say. So I haven't fit it to my head yet. But this thing is super light, weighs like 5 ounces or something. So I hope I don't even notice it at all. I haven't been running with it because I don't need it when I'm just on the trails here in Maryland. So we'll see how this goes. So I'll have to report on that experience. What else? I've got a running belt here where I can put my bib. That's just so day to day, in case they require me to have my bib on my front. I can wear that, and then it's got some elastic stretchies here that could be useful for who knows what. Maybe that's where I can clip my food bowl, or I can stuff a gel in there, something like that. Who knows? I've got a hairbrush, long hair. It's going to get tangled, so I need to brush that out every day. Got a battery pack here that is TSA safe, less than whatever the limit was. I think it's 10,000 milliamp hours for charging phone, camera, whatever. Got a headlight here, and I've got 2 batteries for it. They're charging over here behind me. So got the headlight, Petzl brand, required by the race. I think a couple of the stages do start before the sun comes up. So I have to have that at the beginning. Moving along here, I've got more standard running stuff. So I've got a bunch of running shorts, some long sleeve running shirts, my running vest, which I've also attached 2 of these Solomon pole quivers. One of them will be for the poles, and one of them will be for my camera on my stick. So that way I can have both. I can pull the camera out on the selfie stick whenever I want to do, take some nice video for you guys and for myself for memories. So that's there. And then this I've been running with, and it holds all my stuff. This back pouch here is extremely stretchy material. And so it holds all my stuff, and I can put a 2-liter water bladder in there if I need that over the soft flasks. Just some clothes, underwear, some short sleeve running shirts, my camera case, toiletries, headphones, extra SD cards for recording everything, and a permanent marker, because what is required at the race is that all of your nutrition that you use, all of my Never Second, I have to label every single one of those with my race number. The reason they do that is if you dispose of the wrappers out in nature on this race, you are disqualified. So they require you to write the number on everything, and if they find your number out there, you will be disqualified. So it's really important to do that, and I have to have it labeled. They check every morning that all my stuff is labeled. So that's all my carry-on. I think between these two, I can get everything in there, but as I said, if I can't, maybe I'll take like half my running shirts and half my shorts, put them over in the carry-on, half the hats, put them in the carry-on, the extra running bladder, put it in the carry-on, things like that. But I want to make sure that I have absolutely all of my required gear, at least as much as allowed by TSA, over here in my carry-ons. In fact, I'm actually going to move these poles over to the checked. The reason is that they do have kind of sharpish points. I think that TSA would be okay with it, but just in case. And if for some reason the poles get lost, I can buy some more when I'm in Europe. I think these sort of poles are pretty common, pretty easy to find. And I'll be getting there a couple days before the race starts, so I'll have time to find a sporting store and buy them, I hope. All right, so check side. So on the check side, I've got a couple extra pair of running shoes that I like. Just gives me some variety, or if something goes wrong with these shoes, they get really, really wet and they don't dry out, something like that. So I've got those. I've got some extra running shorts. Everyday clothes, so I've got socks, underwear, t-shirts, pants, extra sweatshirt, my deodorant, which is too big to qualify for the for the carry-on, some extra Ziploc bags for holding wet clothes or trash, who knows, right? Ziploc bags are just universally great to have around. You never know what you can put in them, what they'll be useful for. Got all of my nutrition that I hope I can rely on. I don't want to rely on the race at all. I don't know what they're going to have. I don't know what brands are in Europe. They probably have things like Morton's, maybe some goo. I don't know. And because I don't know, I don't want to rely on it. So I've brought my Never Second. That's what I've been training with. That's what I prefer. I've brought more than enough. This is enough for me for probably, 9 or 10 days of running. But I'd rather have more than too little. And I really like that stuff. Same thing with the carbs fuel drink mix. This is what I've been training with. It's what I want to use. So I'm going to bring that. It's sealed and everything, but it is a lot of powder. I don't know what TSA will say about that, so I'm just not even risking it. I'm going to put it in my checked luggage. And so that's my drink mix. I'll put in my bottles at the start of every day. And that way, at least for probably, till the first aid station or maybe a little bit after, I'll have some, nutrition in my water that I know I can rely on. In addition, up here, I've got my first aid kit. I think that there are sharp things in here. I actually haven't even checked. This just has everything the race requires. Race requires I do carry a first aid kit at all times, and it has to have required gear in here, certain bandages. I think I have to have like a triangle sling in case I fall or hurt my arm, blister pads, ointments, you name it, it's in here. I think there's a pair of little tiny scissors in here or something. I don't know what TSA says about that sort of stuff. Not even gonna risk it, just throw it in the checked. It's another thing that if I lose it, I think this was like $10. I could go to a pharmacy at the race town or something like that, pick up another one of these, I think pretty easily. I think even the race sells a branded version for like $12, right? So they make a little bit of money off of them. So there's those, and that's, I got a swimsuit. Maybe I'll sit in a hot tub one night at the hotel or something like that. You never know. Good idea to just bring a swimsuit anytime you travel. And so that's everything, I think. I've got my wallet, my cell phone on me. I'll use an ATM to get any cash I need once I get to Europe, avoid the exchange fees and whatnot. So that is everything. And so now I've got to figure out how to pack all of that into these bags and get them to Europe. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Maybe you've done a race like this before. If I've forgotten something that you're like, oh man, Dylan, you got to have one of those, let me know. This is my first time traveling internationally for a race. So it's new to me, and I'm just trying to over prepare and over bring things actually, but it's possible I've forgotten something. That said, it is Europe. I am confident I can buy almost anything that I have laid out here if I absolutely needed it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And I hope this race goes really well. I'll have some footage for you guys in a couple weeks after I get back and edit it all. And yeah, fingers crossed everything goes well.